Welcome to Midweek Murders, where we take a look at true crime around Australia. In today's episode, we will be looking at a young man that came here on a visa and decided to kill 5 people in 1 month, crossing borders between the Northern Territory and Western Australia. This tourist was named the Kimberley Killer. Joseph Thomas Schwab was born in Starnberg, Bavaria, West Germany in November 1960. A shy and timid student, Joseph joined a local rifle club in Pocking at the age of 15. In 1981, he travelled to Adelaide, South Australia, where he worked as a cabinet maker and joined the local pistol club. He returned to Germany in 1984, becoming a security guard. For 2 years, between 1985 and 1987, Joseph became a night watchman, where he committed several minor crimes. April 18, 1987, Joseph arrived in Brisbane from Bangkok. 4 days later, he rented a car at Brisbane Airport before buying a .223 caliber Ruger Mini 14 semi-automatic rifle, a .308 Sako bolt-action rifle, and a .22 Bruno bolt-action rifle. To top it off, he also purchased a Winchester 12-gauge pump-action shotgun and 3,000 rounds of ammo. On May 6, he was in the area of the Diamantina River and in Darwin by May 20. The first known victims were 70-year-old man Victor Bullen, a former deputy mayor of Fremantle, and his 42-year-old son, Lance. Both were shot dead from behind with a Ruger on the morning of June 9th while scouting for a fishing spot. They were reported missing to the Timber Creek police, and their burnt-out station wagon was found the next day. Their stripped bodies were found in shallow graves nearby. 5 days later, 26-year-old Philip Walkermeyer, his 25-year-old fiancée Julie Warren, and their 36-year-old friend Terry Bolt were killed in similar circumstances hundreds of kilometres away in Pentecost River Crossing, Wyndham, Western Australia. Much like the previous victims, their car was burned and their bodies were stripped. The 3 were reported missing when they didn't show up for work. Their bodies were found in the river. A truck driver was able to give a description of the suspect's vehicle to the police, a white Toyota 4Runner with red stripes. A 7-member team of police officers from the Tactical Response Group and a forensic officer were rushed via charter jet from Perth to Kununurra to assist the Kimberley police. Despite the roadblocks put in place and the intensive search, the suspect vehicle wasn't located by land. An outback livestock mustering chopper pilot from Napier Downs Station raised an alarm after spotting a camouflage vehicle in the bushland of Fitzroy Crossing. Unsure if it was the suspect's vehicle, the tactical police approached cautiously. They called on a police Cessna 182 to fly over the site in an attempt to flush out the occupant into open space. A man dressed in military trousers emerged from the camp and opened fire with a semi-automatic rifle on the aircraft. Police identified themselves and the gunman opened fire on them. They returned shots, including firing tear gas canisters. They eventually killed the gunman and managed to stop the fire that was caused by the tear gas. Inside the vehicle, the police found items such as licenses, credit cards and camping gear belonging to the victims. The gunman's body was flown to Perth for analysis and was later identified as Joseph Schwab based on rental and immigration documents. His motive for the killings will remain unknown. Joseph Schwab had come to this country first as a worker. There is no record of what happened here to make him angry with Australia or Australians that I can find. I can't seem to find if he was fired from the cabinet making job or if he decided to return home. All that's known is that when he came back, he decided to leave a mark. As a native to Western Australia, I just want to give a little more detail about the area that Schwab operated in, within WA at least. The Kimberley region is the northernmost of 9 regions in Western Australia. That far north, there isn't much around aside from stunning areas to grab a few nature snaps. There's a lot of bushland and ravines, often flooding in the wet season, which happens to be autumn for us. It is the least populated section of Western Australia. It's an area of 423,517 square kilometres, or 163,521 square miles, which is about 3 times the size of England, twice the size of the state of Victoria, or just slightly smaller than California. It's a large area for someone to disappear, if they wanted to. Thank you for tuning into Midweek Murders. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Links will be in the description below if you wish to look more into it. Until next week, stay safe.